Hello friends and welcome to another Arena Powered Cube. If you're new here, my name is Cody Lee and I upload a brand new draft video every single day. If that's something that interests you, I'd love to have you along for this fun ride. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those good things. Help tell the robots that my content is cool. And we're looking at a really spicy cube pack. Arena Cube is back. If you haven't seen it yet, get out there, play some Arena Cube. Is that a hand coming out of his mouth? It almost looked like it from the small thumbnail. Look at that. Anyways, what are we looking at here for our pick? I love playing green decks. I really love playing green decks. Does not mean that they're the best thing to pick all the time. And honestly, I think it might be a Dark Confidant. I'm not sure that Dark Confidant is the pick, but I've not played Dark Confidant, and I had this thing where I was going all in on Mythics. I might, honestly, Day of Judgment might be the pick if I'm being realistic here and going into a white-blue deck or something like that. But I haven't played Dark Confidant. I haven't enjoyed playing Dark Confidant. I haven't had the chance, so let's do it. There's a booster tutor in here. There's also a mana drain. And it's worth noting, taking Booster Tutor over Mana Drain is probably disgusting. There's also an Orcish Bowmasters. This is a card that I've not had a chance to play with, but I've heard people talk about a lot. 2 mana, 1/1 with Flash. When this creature enters and whenever an opponent draws a card except the first one they draw on each of their draw steps, this creature deals 1 damage to any target, then amass Orcs 1. And amassing Orcs 1 means you put a 1/1 counter on an army you control. And if you don't have an army, you make an army. So pretty dang good. But I do think I'm probably going to be taking the Booster Tutor here. I mean, Mana Drain is just the best card. We should take the Mana Drain and not think too hard about it. We're going to follow that Mana Drain up with Expressive Iteration is one of those cards that's extremely strong as well. But there is an Atraxa here. Thing is, we have a Dark Confidant and a Mana Drain. I don't really want to grab an Atraxa. I would probably much rather grab something like a Karn, an Expressive Iteration, a Spire Bluff, or a Dark Slick. I think I'm looking at Karn. Karn's very strong. Atraxa is also very strong if we're playing like a Reanimator deck. So there is that. Well, let's pick up the Karn and keep an eye out for artifacts.
I battle for the forces of good.
Coalition Relic, Talisman of Indulgence, and then there's a Baleful Strix. I think Baleful Strix is probably one of those really dang good ones, but there's also a Remand. Volcanic Island. So there's a bunch of cards. I would take any of these, like 6 down here. I think we're going to take the Remand. Remand is just a pretty strong card if we're going to be doing big things. And we're going to hope that Baleful Strix comes back around. That's what we're going to do. There's a Fatal Push here. There's also a Field of the Dead. Field of the Dead is one of those cards. Sorry, as I lean away from the camera to grab myself a refill on my coffee here. For those of you who don't know, I make a pour-over coffee for myself every morning. I swear I'm not fancy. The whole thing cost me less than a Keurig. That's why I do it. And it's cheaper than K-Cups. So I'm trying to save myself money. I pour over Folgers, let's be real, and water from my sink. But we're going to take the Fatal Push. Strong, cheap, interacts early. Monastery Mentor. Some of these cards look like they would be insanely good, but Fatal Push is going to be our pick. Narset Parter of Veils is one of those extremely good cards. There's also an Animate Dead here, though. Animate Dead coming around this late is kind of a sign. I don't know if it's that much of a sign, but it makes me want to pick it up. Now, Narset is one of those where if you're playing draw 7s, you want that Narset. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 on each of their turns. Phenomenal. Then it has a -2 that look at the top 4 cards of your library, reveal a non-creature non-land card from among them, and put it into your hand. The rest on the bottom in any order. Phenomenal. I do think we're probably going to take the Narset over the Animate Dead here. Well, no, Animate Dead. Yeah, we're going to take Animate Dead. There's just no reason not to take the Animate Dead here. A lot of red, some white. There is a Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, which, I mean, maybe. I don't think I'm going to be playing any of the rest of this. I probably should pick up something like a Stomping Ground just to have. But we're going to take the Jace. 4 mana for a 4 loyalty Jace. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. +1, target player mills 2 cards, draw a card. -8, draw 7, then if your library has no cards in it, win the game. So we'll take it.
You just don't know it yet.
Scrubland, Expedition, Blooming Mark, Ephemerate. There's an Inquisition here. Gotta pay attention to the borders. There is also an Overlord, but Overlord is one of those return a non-avatar creature card or planeswalker card. We do have some planeswalkers, we do have some creatures, but we're going to be playing a lot of non-creatures. And we want some of that early interaction like Inquisition. Here, Talisman of Conviction. I want to read this card. Wither Bloom Command. Target player, choose 2. Target player mills 3. Then you return a land card from your graveyard to your hand. Destroy target creature, non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. Target creature gets -3, -1 until end of turn. Target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Interesting. Not the best talisman for us, by the way, but we'll take it. Blue, black, green, Leovold. Let's grab the Leovold. Maybe we'll see about splashing the green. And because we have the Animate Dead, I will take the Atraxa. And the Coalition Relic. And it's worth noting, Dark Confidant, probably out of here. Botanical Sanctum will save. We've got that Atraxa. We'll take the Mana Confluence. And then Zuran Orb going to the sideboard. We're looking good here. And we're looking even more interesting because we have the Grizzlebrand. Now, I'm seeing these 2 lands down here. Definitely want them. I'm seeing a Sin. That's pretty cool. We're probably... I mean, maybe we'll play the Botanical Sanctum and we'll play the Leovold. Let's take a look at this. We're looking at a base blue-black. The Talisman of Conviction is not great. But we are going to want reanimate targets. Gloomland Verge. Troll of Khazad-dûn. 6 mana, 6/5, can't be blocked except by 3 or more creatures, and it has Swamp Cycling, which is pretty dang good. There's also a Sneak Attack here, and with Grizzlebrand Atraxa with Sneak Attack, I'm kind of really into the idea of Sneak Attack. If we pick it up now, we can look at things like Badlands. We do have the Animate Dead. Maybe we're playing like 4-color Broken. And to be fair, if we're playing 4-color Broken, we need to start taking some other cards. When this creature enters, target opponent reveals their hands. You choose a non-land card from it. They discard it. Just a phenomenal card. I would like an Uro. I would like honestly, a Underground Sea. It might be time to start taking some of the lands. Like Xander's Lounge here. Honestly, we should take Xander's Lounge. I'm taking it. I almost want to feel bad about that one. Pentad Prism is looking pretty good for us here. Elegy Acolyte and Mox Opal might also be interesting, but we don't have a ton of artifacts yet. Nethergorth, 1 mana for star, 1+ star. Nethergorth's power is equal to the number of card types. And its toughness is equal to that +1, and that has an escape cost, so like cool. Phoenix Fleet, our airship, does all the sacking stuff, which is super cool. But I think we're going to take the Pentad Prism. Smuggler's Copter is another one of those that I would probably like to have, but we don't have a ton of creatures. Pentad Prism Ramses. Ooh, Thoughtseize. There is a show and tell. I don't think we want to be show and telling, if I'm being honest. I do think we want to be Thoughtseizing. Recurring Nightmare is interesting, but not with what we're currently at. So let's take the Thoughtseize. Anduril, Flame of the West. We're going to take the Jace. Fire Nation Occupation here. Whenever you cast a spell during your opponent's turn, create a 2/2 red soldier creature token with Firebending 1. Like, this seems pretty insane if we're going to be doing things like Remanding, Mana Draining, and stuff like that. But I think we're probably going to be a bit more on the Jace Vryn's Prodigy. Let's draw and discard type deal. Marsh Flats is interesting. Murderous Cut, Chromatic Star. Honestly, Sundering Titan. We do want to pick up some more lands, it's worth noting. 2 mana, 4/1, Menace, Ward, discard a card. Whenever this creature attacks, put a 1/1 counter on target creature and opponent controls. No. We're probably going to pick up the Jace. Look at the top two cards, or look at the top card of target player's library. You get to Fate Seal them, basically. Always love Fate Sealing people. Unholy Heat looks insane. Shieldred's Edict might also be interesting. Talisman of Curiosity honestly might be better than the Unholy Heat for us because we're not going to be base red. It is worth noting the Talisman of Conviction is probably coming in based on what we got here. Archfiend of the Dross, 4 mana 6/6. Nope, that's the lose one. Kolagon's Command. Whenever it enters or attacks, let's take this in because that'll be a good one for us. Gloomlake Verge, blue or black. I'm here for that. Fire Covenant, an additional cost to cast a spell, pay X life, deals X damage among you as you choose. Heck yeah. Smuggler's Copter. I mean, honestly, the green red land, we're 4-color, no white. Do we show and tell? I don't think we're show and telling. Oh, maybe we take the Forest Cycler. I wish the Orcish thing came back around so we could. Ooh. Okay. So there's a kind of a lot of really cool ones here. Naru Winged Wisdom is pretty dang good. We don't got a bunch of stuff to set it off, so that's not exactly what we're looking at here. Wheel of Fortune, though, I think is exactly what we want to be doing in this deck. Theory is also very interesting to me, but Wheel of Fortune, each player discards their hand, then draws 7. We're getting rid of a bunch of stuff and getting a bunch of stuff back. Perfect. Rafine's Tower, we're not looking for the white. There's some removal in here, like Collective Brutality I would also really like to have. Especially with that escalate cost is going to be very good. I do want another like reanimate effect of some type. But let's grab the Wheel of Fortune for now. Sephiroth, Dakfaden, Ugin, Blazemire, and Underworld Breach. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its escape cost. The escape cost is equal to the card's mana cost plus exile 3 other cards. Like, that's interesting, but we're not going to be doing a ton of that. I do think Karakas is one of the most powerful cards in Cube, oddly enough, because people are playing, you know, a bunch of big legendary creatures. So we might be taking, well, no, we're going to be taking tag.
Greatest thief in the multiverse.
Here we're looking at something like Talisman of Curiosity or Verdant Catacombs. Verdant Catacombs kind of fixes us for at least 3 colors because it fetches the Xander's Lounge and green. So I'm kind of here for the land. We're not really looking for a ton more playables, so we should be alright. Ooh, the Zagoth Triome is also perfect for us. Portal to Phyrexia and Esper Origins. Like, honestly, Esper Origins is probably one of the better cards for us. Tinker. These aren't artifacts. A little less good for us. You may exile, which is a little bit sad. No one likes exiling stuff. Necromancy is a reanimate, though, so we'll take that. Gobin. Conniving is pretty interesting. I'm here for the connive. Probably dropping that. I do think we'll take the Gobin. I don't know if we'll play it, but we'll take it. Bloodstained Mire. Some good fixing for us. Hedge Maze. Almost perfect, but Avatar Kyoshi. During your turn, it's hexproof at the beginning of combat on your turn. Earthbend 8, then untap that land. Like, that's pretty insane. 4 mana, 5/5. Let's just grab the land and fix up our mana base. Collective Brutality, perfect. Dropping the label. That Jace is gone. Karn's probably gone. Plane Cycling 2. Eternalize for 4. Timeless Dragon. Honestly, that seems pretty dang good. But the Sephiroth might be a little bit better. Oliphant. Sorin of House Markov, Endurance. Yeah, we'll take the Oliphant. Stoneforge Mystic being here is kind of crazy. Love me some Stoneforge Mystic. Magda, Fiery, Confluence, get it out of here. I'm probably going to be playing a red-white deck, at least sometime soon. Lightning Helix and the 3-4 coming all the way back around is crazy. Now let's take a look here. We've got 40. Yeah, I mean, we're looking good. Do we want the planes? I don't think we're planning on ever casting Atraxa, so we can probably remove that and add in an island, I'd assume. 4 swamp. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe we can go down on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we should be good with this. Let's play it up. We're playing a crazy deck. Now let's jump in Wizard Wololo, Veteran Brawler. We're going to keep. We're probably going to start with tapped land, so we can play a Thoughtseize turn 2. Let's see what you got over there. Carnage, Pyrogoyf, Screaming Nemesis, Quarry Steelcutter, Emperor Bones. Emperor Bones gone. Do we want to draw? No, probably not. One Quarry Steelcutter. Sure, fair enough. Let's do this. All you. Now I've got a Necromancy, and I'm going to be bringing back probably Atraxa. Ooh. He's going to take my Necromancy? That would be fair. Oh, and a Time Walk? That's crazy. They're also playing a 4-color brew, it looks like. But they're playing a much more aggressive 4-color brew. I do think I'm going to be taking the Quarry Steelcutter. And I'm going to go Swamp Dak. Steel, Inquisition him. You got a counter spell over there?
Now they look like an easy mark. Well, this'll fetch a nice price.
Wait, why couldn't I gain control of... Oh, okay, I do own it. Thank you. I was like, wait. Demonic Tutor, Sure, 2 lands and a snuff out. No tags. Ooh, a Nova. Okay, I don't like that. I'm gonna take the 4. Kill his thing.
When the going gets tough, I get going.
I'm gonna surveil too. And then it's going to come down. I'm going to be able to draw the Fatal Push, but the Fatal Push is not going to be... Let's put both of those in the graveyard. Ooh. Unlucky. I think we're going to lose this one. You got me. That was a pretty crazy game. I think they got out a little bit low. I like their deck. I think that Time Walk did save them. If they didn't have that, if they didn't have the Thoughtseize on that turn, it's worth noting. I think we do run away with it pretty hard. We'll keep. I'm like, they're casting this on their upkeep. Turn 1. Displacer Kitten. Uh-oh. Oof, a Baleful Strix. Nice. So next turn I'm going to collect a Brutality to put Atraxa in the graveyard, and then I'm going to Animate Dead to bring it back. Unless I get Thoughtseized here. Which I've been getting Thoughtseized quite a bit recently. He's got counters up, so I'm going to hold on. I want him to tap out for something. Alright. So I'm going to be able to... This one. Target opponent, choose target creature. Submit 1. Regrowth, Reanimate, Fatal Push, Bitter Triumph. It's an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card to pay 3 life. Bitter Triumph is gone. And then we are going to Reanimate, my graveyard, Atraxa, autopay. So we want probably a Thoughtseize, Gloomlake Verge, Sinspira, and Necromancy or Sneak Attack. Probably Necromancy. No, probably Sneak Attack. We're going to play the Gloom Lake. We're going to Thought Seize him. Good game. And that's what we want to be doing, folks. I'm glad we held off so that we didn't allow them to reanimate our big Traxa. Goes to show you, sometimes you do got to play around things, especially when you're playing a combo-ish type deck. Now Atrax is back. We got a Thought Seize. We can't cast our black cards, but we can cast our Wheel of Fortune on turn 3. We're going to keep. Sweet Hedge Maze. I will be able to play Chromatic Star and then pop it for a Thought Seize next turn. Mosswood Dread Knight, and ooh, they're playing a cool one. I'm gonna hold up the Fatal Push instead, though. Yay! Destroy that. Yay! All you. No reanimate spells in my hand, though. That's a little risky. Especially when I've got a Sin and an Atraxa in my graveyard. Got rid of a Bolus, a Persist, a Recurring Nightmare. Nice, I got rid of 2 of his reanimates. Emperor of Bones is not a good one, though. And he's going to be able to activate it immediately. Oh my god, I hate it. Yup, good game. You got it. That's insane. I got rid of 2 of his reanimates, but he had a 3rd in hand. Which, I mean, hey, it happens. This is Powered Cube. This is what you expect in Powered Cube. And it's also, like, I'll be real. I do really enjoy Powered Cube. I'm going to be doing a ton of it. Some of the losses, nothing gets me saltier than some of the losses in a Powered Cube draft. It is... Some of the games are really, really fun, but some of the losses just really feel bad. And some of them feel great. We're going to mulligan that. And we're going to keep that. Yeah, we're going to tap this and we're going to go get red. Let me just try to strip mine. Strip mine turn 1 is going to be the thing that...
Don't worry.
I'm going to draw 2, discard 2.
Information's almost as good as money.
Grizzlebrand and Sin Spirit. If they've got to reanimate here, I'm going to be really upset. They don't. Okay. Thieving, Crucible, Uro, 6, Renin 6, Crucible. control of your artifact. I'm not letting you have red, friend.
Your security is embarrassing.
Gain control of target artifact with mana value X or less. Uro does nothing, 6 does nothing. You've got an interesting hand, but the way you went about it was poor, friend. My turn. I'm gonna draw 2.
Isn't the unknown exciting?
Why did that double? Whenever enters or attacks, exile a permanent. Then create a tap token. If the exiled card is a land. Oh, if it's a land, repeat. That's kind of sick. Activate that. Draw. Discard.
I've only scratched the surface of Zendikar's mysteries.
End turn.
Matters.
I've got a remand in hand. What you got? I do also just have lethal, which is kind of cool. Two and two. Let's keep it up. And yeah, this is perfect. 2-drop into 3-drop. Gonna take the Necromancy probably. Maybe the Gobin. Boom. Gobin the Gene Splicer Savant. If he's gonna Fatal Push me though. I was almost anticipating the Fatal Push. 4-color, no red for him. Oof, fair. One, two, three, 4, 5. Technically, I could go up to 6 next turn. Mismatched lands, you awful, awful person, you. It's a nice Triome, though. I do like the Triomes. So we can reanimate now. We just need to get these things in the graveyard. So let's tap this for green. And then we're going to cast this. And then we're going to play the Jace. You got a kill spell for it? What you got going on over there, friend? A lot of big thoughts. I wonder if that's... wonder if they're going for a reanimate thing. They're pretty blue-black control-y-ish right now. Search your library for a basic, yes. View the battlefield, we're gonna search for a green. Did they mystical tutor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got a lot of thinking over there. Maybe I don't think enough about my stuff. Nexus of Becoming. Ooh. Okay, they got Animate Dead. But on nothing, really. And I've got a Grizzlebrand, so like... The show and tell into Crabomination where I put in a Grizzlebrand is a little bit difficult. I had a Sinspira in hand too, so like... It was an aggressive show and tell. But I'm not the deck to show and tell against. Alright. So, we're gonna keep this. Have we started a game without these in our hand? Like, we have, but not very many. Which I find kind of hilarious. Inquisition, you. Hawk, Dauntless Drafter. Yeah, get rid of that Time Twister, man. We're not Wheel of Fortune in this. Thing is, sure, but you had like 4 cards that did nothing, and I don't really want to... Don't counter my sneak attack. Oh, they had the counter spell. Fair enough. They drew into it with those 2 cards. Sometimes you gotta deal with what you gotta deal with, man. There's Boomy. I'm gonna auto pay. I might be dying this turn, and that's gonna be unlucky. But next turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'll be able to play Atraxa, which is nice. Ooh.
Who's more foolish? The fool. The fool who rules them.
I do think I'm dead here very hard. Yep, you got me. Ugh. Alright, we probably should have taken his Sylvan Caryatid and then Wheel of Fortune on turn 3, not taken turn 3 off. Holding off, I mean, if he didn't have the counterspell, a completely different game, but he had the straight up counterspell. 3-3, not a bad record. A Throne and a Cons, not bad packs. But hey, thanks so much for joining me on this draft, guys. I do really appreciate it. I hope to see you in tomorrow's episode. Remember, I upload a brand new draft video every day if that's something that interests you. Love to have you along on this journey. And we're going to be doing a lot of cube draft, and we're going to be trying to get a little bit better at it. So we'll see what happens. Thanks again. See you tomorrow.